For the last time this session, listen close. Your guide through all this knowledge, Dr. Syed knows.
A journey through the pipeline, fast and true. Deep learning power for you.
Now you're ready for the future, brave and bright. Go and change the world with all your APU light.
Welcome to the last session of our deep learning for intrusion detection. Let's start with the graphics pipeline. The graphics pipeline involves multiple stages, including application transform, rasterization, and shading. Each stage plays a specific role in rendering final pixels. The overall process is complex, involving many components and stages. Let's talk about transform, vertex processor. The first stage converts objects from their 3D world space into a 2D image space. This transformation is crucial for rendering a 3D object on a 2D screen. It also computes per vertex lighting, which helps determine the brightness and color of each vertex. And rasterizer. This converts the geometric representation of an object, defined by vertices, into a raster image composed of fragments or pixels. Each pixel stores associated data, such as color, depth, and stencil values. It interpolates per vertex quantities across pixels for smooth transitions of properties over the object's surface. Now, in the shade stage, computes a color for each pixel, often by reading colors from textures or images. Much of 3D processing involves short algorithms repeated on a lot of data, such as vertices and pixels. This repetitive nature makes the task embarrassingly parallel, meaning it is highly suitable for data parallel computation techniques like SIMT, single instruction, multiple data, where the same operation is performed on many data points simultaneously. Various computations, including matrix algebra, image and volume processing, physical simulation, and global illumination, like ray tracing, map well to grids. Data parallelism enhances the efficiency of these computations, as each vertex or fragment is independent. Non-grid streams can also be effectively mapped to grids to utilize parallel processing. 3D accelerator cards were crucial in early 3D processing, specifically to handle the embarrassingly parallel nature of graphics. These dedicated cards performed data parallel computation on large amounts of data, like vertices and pixels. An example is the Diamond Monster 3D card, which used the Voodoo chipset in 1997. NVIDIA's CUDA architecture utilizes a model called single instruction, multiple threads, which is a key feature of data parallelism. SIMT means one instruction is executed many times with different data, using many threads across various processing units. The CUDA model integrates aspects of VLIW, superscalar, and SIMD architectures. The Volta architecture featured 84 streaming multiprocessors, over 5,000 INT32 cores, over 5,000 FP32 cores, and 672 Tensor cores. The separate FP32 for floating point computations and INT32 for integer memory address calculations like pointer arithmetic cores allow simultaneous execution at full throughput. This is highly efficient for pipelined loops where address updates and data processing occur at the same time. The subsequent Ampere architecture, November 2020, continued this trend and added specialized ray tracing cores. In the CUDA model, the GPU runs a kernel program in parallel across a set of threads. The programmer or the compiler organizes these threads into blocks and grids of thread blocks. Each individual thread executes an instance of the kernel and maintains its own program counter, registers, private memory, and distinct inputs and output results. CPUs and GPUs are optimized for different tasks. CPUs with lower operation latencies achieve higher performance for programs with few threads, meaning sequential parts. GPUs with higher execution throughput achieve higher performance for programs with a large number of threads, meaning parallel and numerically intensive parts. Many applications achieve maximum efficiency by using both, executing the sequential parts on the CPU and offloading the parallel computing-intensive functions to the GPU. OpenCL, Open Computing Language, was launched to provide a platform-agnostic benchmark for heterogeneous computing, not restricted to NVIDIA GPUs. It offers a portable language for acceleration through parallel processing. OpenCL programs can run on various devices, including GPUs, CPUs with SIMT instructions, FPGAs, user-programmable chips, and DSPs, digital signal processors. PlaidML is a portable tensor compiler designed to enable deep learning on devices like laptops or embedded systems, where hardware support or software licenses might be restrictive. Tensor compilers are essential for bridging the gap between the universal mathematical descriptions of deep learning operations, like convolution, and the platform and chip-specific code needed for efficient execution. OpenCL's ability to share workloads between the CPU and GPU means programmers can divide work between the two devices to utilize both of their strengths. This approach, however, presents a challenge in deciding how to partition the work, as the relative speeds of different operations vary significantly between the CPU and the GPU. We've reached the end of our program. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who have participated in the step-by-step learning process. I also invite you to connect with me for practical materials. All the best, and keep learning.